25th, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Indianapolis, Houston, and now. Yeah. Black Ink Radio.
You can tell, COINTEL, my clique has never failed. My boat has never sunk, my ship has never sailed. My hope is never shaken, my spirit is never broken. My legs are never open, my words will always be quoted. My vision is focused. Tell the POTUS I don't trust him, he'll never be noticed. I think it's time that I put you all on notice. I'm the one, David Ruffin, I'll never be Otis. If I did it, then it better work. The music industry hates me cause I'll never twerk. I'm in a different world, each verse brings the metaverse. Optometrist, I change vision like the Oculus. Watch me fly over Metropolis. Tell all the populace, rise from sarcophagus. No hypothesis, I see apocalypse. Muhammad's disciple speaks like a prophetess. We got him like we got him like, yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like it's they love from the west, coming strong, Cali's best. We got them like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like.
See, I done came from the bottom. I usually choose peace, today we choose violence. And they don't really know what to do. And I'ma keep banging the truth. Lyrically impeccable, irrepressible spectacle. I can turn a vegetable into an intellectual. My ancestors celestial, go beyond the skeleton. Fact checking these rappers, none of these credible. If it don't apply to the fly, it's a hypothetical. It's just the type of that you kicking is unacceptable. If you're not helping me grow, I'm just not available. I want the whole left side of a decimal, incredible. I ain't even hardly reached my pinnacle. Jump in the cypher and turn it into a festival. Bang on the gang till the game need medical. I'ma keep grinding till the it's unpreventable. Middle finger, you haters, so that'll be unprofessional. We ain't just not compatible. I am too undetectable. Put the pedal to metal, the metal hitting your mental. My pen penetrating your sensory. You looking terrible. Whoa, whoa, all I see is green light bulbs. East New York, Brooklyn, let it go. My light might be an iPhone. Third eye, I see the rival. See my arrival.
We got him like. We got him like. Yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like.
It's that Nick from the East New York, we run the streets.
We got them like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like.
You know. We the creme de la creme. They give us accolades, but that's God working through us. We send praises up to him. Brotherhood tight, sisterhood tight, nation building team players. We all shooting in the gym. Got the guys with me, got the FOI with me. If we gotta go to war, then we fighting to the death. Not a betting man, but if I was and you ask me who I put my money on, you know I'm putting it on them. Come through, they gotta respect, they gotta tip they hat. Don't disrespect our women, word bond, we a kill for that. In the field working with bullets fly like we in Iraq. I do this for the family, I rap, but this way deeper than rap. Stand up, solid soldiers with me, we don't back though. I don't deal with milk toast brothers like I'm lactose. Every time I come in first, they act like they was rooting for me. Whole time I know they wanted me to come in last though. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah. If it wasn't for you, I know I wouldn't have made it through Allah. Grant me protection on this mission that I pursue, Allah. I know with you behind me, there ain't nothing that I can't do, Allah. You know.
We got him like. We got him like. Yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like.
It's GC from the shop. FOI till I die.
We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like. It's ain't love.
Peace and blessings, beautiful people. It's your girl, High Heels. Not for the shoes,
Yo.
but for the healing of energy. The teleportation of high vibrations. What you want to say? Why you saying yo already? That
I'm saying yo because I fuck with everybody that whose songs you like to play in the beginning. I fuck with all the artists you brought through, but that was powerful.
Killing, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
That I ain't gonna lie. I like Shorty killed it.
Yo, so
let's go there. Shorty killed it.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
The niggas did their thing as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The brothers did
their thing. Excuse me. I don't want to call them niggas. I know they from the Nation of Islam. Excuse me, brothers. You know, I'm from the streets. I ain't from the nation. So, excuse the niggas. Niggas is love to me. But, damn.
Was she fired, right?
Yeah, bruh. I played it. I was like, cause you know normally I play your shit. I'm like, I play a lot of people's shit, and it's just like, you know, I do all the shows. So when I play it, it's like I don't expect certain things, but god damn,
yes.
They came with it. You feel me?
Yes. So that was the newest single from Nilam, featuring Donique and Golden Child.
Right, so. and I don't know if y'all was watching the video, but it was like they brought the whole nation feel.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like it was militant. It was like I like that. You feel me? Because even though I'm not, you know, down with, you know, not that I have anything against.
Yes.
I've never done research, so I'm just not, you know, I'm not with the Nation of Islam, obviously. Yes. But I've always wanted my peoples to be like that. Like understand that there's an order. There's an order. You understand what I'm saying? And there's like, you know, you gotta fight. You gotta play your position. Mm-hmm. The only way for a group of men or a group of anything to prosper is if everybody play their position.
Yes.
And when I watch shit like that and watch everybody, you know, play their position, it's love to me.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, I salute them.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Especially Shorty. She came, she came hard. I love her voice. I love everything about her. And the other dudes, you know, I like how they was rapping. One dude, he was saying, you know, we bought our women, we'll kill for them. I loved all of that. I'm listening.
Yeah.
You feel me? I might be dancing and doing whatever. I'm in the background, but my ears is open. So, because I do music. That's what I do. And I pay attention. So, I love that. I love everything about that. Tell them, I salute them. We need to get them in the studio.
I was just
cool. Do what you got to do.
You already know.
All right.
They from Atlanta?
No, they from LA, but you know, we could always.
They from LA. I'm always in LA. We can get them here.
Yeah. So
that's
was,
nothing.
So shout out to Nilam, and that was Nilam featuring Donique and Golden Child.
Oh my God.
Hey, you know
what? Representing the West Coast.
Representing the
one of them is from Brooklyn too, though.
Yeah, no, he is from Brooklyn. Donique is from.
Bro, they went hard. They went hard.
And then the other two are.
That shit was tight.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the video and I'm
Golden
like,
Child from Chicago?
I thought Golden Child, don't he be in LA?
He's from Chicago.
Oh, he from Chi-Town?
it's crazy that y'all know these people and I never heard of them.
Yeah.
I'm mad, but you know what? I be engulfed in what I got going on.
But see, it's cool though. That's the purpose of why I do this, so that
you can you know,
bring,
open the eyes.
Yeah,
okay.
we can just bring, because that's my whole point is that, you know, they in the nation, but bumping. You know what I'm saying?
Bumping. That shit sound. The beat was tight. The bars was tight. And it wasn't like something that if I'm not with the nation, I won't accept. I accepted it regardless.
Yes.
They was talking some shit. You feel me?
Yes.
And the video was just, it was enticing. I like that shit.
Yes.
I was like, damn, they got it. That they doing the right thing.
Yeah, and the women, those are the MGT. So that's Muslim Girl Training, but that's the female counterpart to the FOI, the military that I was talking about.
So there's like a female section of it?
Yeah. So once you become like, you know, you
part
can be
of
a
it.
registered member, but then you have to become MGT.
So you kind of, so y'all be feeling gangsta a little bit?
You know, we got to make sure that we can protect our people, you know.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But also it's the discipline. That's what I was saying. It's a level of discipline that comes.
She kind of reminds me of the last girl you played. That was a part of some dudes.
Yeah.
And the last girl you played, like, she held her own too.
Yeah, that was.
I liked her.
I played. It was Ciroc.
Oh, Ciroc.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. And
that chick, she held it down.
Shout out to Soul Ciroc.
But differently. You know what I'm saying? This girl, that girl, the way she set it off was retarded. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the new one.
Yeah.
This one tonight.
Nilam.
Ciroc held it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? On some like regular shit. Like, you know, it don't matter if what she's doing in life. I would love that song. But this girl tonight was like, yo, they was talking some shit. It'll change your life.
I'm so excited that you loved it like this. Like, I love it.
Period.
Yes.
I did. I really liked it.
So Nilam, if you out there, when you watching, you gonna have to come on to Black Ink now.
You gotta come on.
Rich Mo has now.
I coach. Yeah, I listen. If I like it, it's good.
Yes.
That's good.
All right, y'all. So that was a hell of an introduction. I'm so excited. So today I have some amazing guests coming on. We are talking about being Black first. So I have. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourself. I feel like everybody has their own like great introductions.
That's what's up. You going first, Rob?
Nah, you
Go
first.
to my
Talk
right.
about it.
We're going to go in order.
Okay, no
chronological
doubt.
order.
Well, what's up? I'm Rick Mathis, filmmaker from the west side of Atlanta. For all my bougie people, that's Cascade. For my freedom fighters, that's West End.
The West End.
And for my educated gangsters, that's Adamsville. Flatland to be exact, baby.
Okay.
But you know about it. Doug High, stand up. Okay. So, but no, we got this new film that's coming out in a couple of months. I partnered with Dr. Boyce Watkins. We got a new project called B1. You know what I'm saying? B1 simply means Black first. You know what I mean? Putting Black first. Period. And it's about time we, like you say, period. It's about time we put us first. We don't put everybody else first. So it's about time that we put us first. But in order to put us first, it has to be a code of conduct. And that's what this film is all about. Like Rich was talking about earlier, with old girl that, you know, everybody was in their lane.
Yes.
That's a code of conduct. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's missing in the Black community. We got to establish a code of conduct. We know when we on code. We know when we off code. Simple as that.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? But got my man Raheem here. You know what I'm saying?
Shabazz.
What's going on, family? Raheem Shabazz, notable award-winning filmmaker and journalist, and from Hustling Harlem. And I'm in the building, and I'm blessed to be here, and I'm ready to receive.
No doubt.
Period. So, you know, a few weeks ago, Roe versus Wade was overturned. And a video went viral of a white lady. She was a MAGA representative. And she said that this was a victory for white life. And so many people were pissed. And they was like, you ain't mad that she said that? I was like, no, I'm not mad at all.
No, it's right.
And they was like, wait, you supposed to be so pro-Black. I said, that's perfect.
God.
That's what they need to do. And that's actually what we need to do. They should be looking out for their people. I don't
That's
see
what
a
they
problem
doing.
with it.
Yeah.
But in turn, we need to be looking out for our people.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to be mad that they're looking out for their people, because I think the reason why Black people got mad was because y'all don't have that same, a lot of Black people don't have that same sentiment.
Exactly, and they're not on code, but the part that they're missing in that is that's a win for white people, because guess what? They getting ready to be the minority.
Right.
So we should be celebrating.
We good.
Pull the layers back.
Period.
We should be celebrating. You know what I'm saying?
We should be. He got a point. See, the thing is this, right? Regardless of the fact, you know, Spanish people are going to become the majority, period. We can't help that.
Really?
Yeah, they are. It's
You talking about in America? Or
in America.
Okay.
Spanish people are going to be the majority because it's way more Spanish people than it is anything. But the thing
in America.
In America.
Let's keep that.
Are we serious?
Yeah.
Yes, think about it.
I
mean, Mexicans,
because-
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans.
I mean,
you know how many
When you
Dominicans?
look at their growth rate, he's
It's-
I mean, I'm
Bruh.
They
going
growth
off-
rate
Listen,
by 2050.
listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying to you. What I'm trying to say to you is, Spanish people are gonna be the majority only because you have to see how they take census. We talked about this. When they check the census, you know what they say? It's Black, non-Hispanic.
Right.
White, non-Hispanic.
That's a large group.
Anybody that has a white father and Hispanic mother, a black father, Hispanic mother, a black mother, Hispanic father, they all cannot check non-Hispanic. You understand what I'm saying? And
That's a
the
good point.
Hispanics are gonna be the majority,
So
but
Spanish speaking.
who's gonna be the minority, like he said, is the whites.
Yeah.
The reason why they pass what they pass is because at the end of the day, they trying to stop white women from getting abortions.
Right.
Because the only way to keep white people in where they at is to have white on white babies.
Yes. Yes.
Because once a white person has a baby with anybody but a white person, that baby is that person.
Yeah.
Because that baby, you caramel, you black. Any type of tint on a white baby makes them whatever race they made babies with.
But
You understand what I'm saying?
The other point too, Rich, They're not having babies. When the last time you seen a white person with a baby?
That's
I'll
why.
wait.
That's why they doing that.
When the last time you seen a white person with a baby pushing a stroller? They pushing dogs in the stroller.
Right. And
They are.
Straight up.
And also, brother, think about this, right? Think about this as well, right? So, another thing you gotta think about with white people is, I lost it. Damn.
I'm sorry. Okay, well, all right. Well, we about to pivot. I'm sitting here.
No, it's real.
I'm sitting out here
But
sending out links and stuff.
yeah, that's real. So you know what I'm saying. So we should be
Oh,
celebrating.
all the states. Listen, when they did the Roe versus Wade thing, right? Every state has to agree if that's what they want to do. All the states that agreed immediately was red states.
Yeah, the Republicans.
Yeah.
Republicans, which are white states.
Yeah.
And the other states, what they did was they try to comfort us as black people. The other states said, listen, California said you will always have a place to come in California to have an abortion.
Yeah, because California,
New York,
is super liberal.
there's a bunch of states that said that. You know what? You know why they was doing that? They want us to know. Don't worry about it. You can come get an abortion. They just kept it in the white states because a white man's not gonna let his white woman take a trip somewhere to get an abortion.
Yeah.
If she can't get in her state on some sneak shit, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So all the red states immediately went with it because they really trying to preserve white life.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Which is beautiful for them. Which
No,
is,
it is.
Which is
It
beautiful
is.
for them. Which is why
Self-preservation is
Yeah.
the first law of nature,
Right.
baby.
And it's
So
nothing.
you don't
It's
blame
nothing.
them.
It's nothing wrong with being a racist. I always say that. You got to be about your race.
Exactly.
Every race is about their race except us. When we about our race, we racist. When
Right.
white
We
people,
can't be racist,
when
though.
people about
Yeah.
their race,
yes.
We can't be racist though, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
'cause
don't have the
racism-
power.
Well,
Exactly.
being racist means you're using your power, your
no,
influence, your dollars
no. We
suppress another.
We could be prejudiced,
no,
but not racist.
That's
Yeah.
not
Right.
true.
Right.
We
That's
can.
the
Tell me how we
definition.
can be
That's the
racist.
We
definition.
can be racist.
How?
The thing is we don't.
How
I
can
mean,
we be
but
racist?
don't have
We could be
power like
racist
that.
by owning shit and telling white people they can't come.
But we don't.
Yeah, but we don't.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying
But
is
we don't own
no,
We
everything.
don't
This-
own nothing.
brother,
we
when
don't
I'm-
control the
Bru-
natural resources in
brother,
our
no,
community.
we do. We have rich black people. We have.
yeah.
We don't own the shit in our community because we don't try to. And the point that I'm making is we can be racist. We just don't. You proving my point.
Well, the reason
we can.
No,
We just don't.
No. The reason why we can't be racist is because for us to be racist, that means that we must not just control land or anything. We must control government. We do
And
not have
policy.
control.
No, that's not true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let me tell you something.
Because hold up. Because the reason why we could be racist if we control government, that means that we could make laws that would
And
like Jim
policy.
Crow, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
not.
have the power
That's
for that.
that's
because
you
the
taking
reason-
racist to too much of a
but
high
that's-
level.
but that's why
Do
we
you
can't be
provide a
racist.
service? Do you provide a service?
Yes, I do provide.
If
a
you
service.
tell a white man that he can't have your service, you being a racist.
That's
Yeah.
prejudice.
that's being prejudiced,
It's also being racist because of his race.
right?
It's because of his race, right?
That's
Yeah.
prejudice.
It's prejudice, but prejudice is racist.
No,
But-
prejudice and racist is two different things. There's a video that Dr. Claude Anderson speaks on the definition of being racist. And matter of fact, he speaks on that in B1.
Okay.
Dr. Claude Anderson is featured in B1.
Yeah.
So what's
So-
the difference?
So the difference is if you're racist, you're using your resources, your power, your influence, your policy, your laws to suppress another group. There's still 85 laws that's on the books today that are suppressing black people.
Talk that
85
talk.
laws that are
Okay.
still
Talk
on
that
the
talk.
books today.
Right.
So that's being racist.
Right.
And we talk about that in B1.
But to be honest, I'm be real with you, right? So I understand what you're saying, and that's the opinion of someone.
No, that's fact.
But racist is just being against a race.
That's prejudice.
Yeah.
No, prejudice is being prejudiced
We
against
gon- we-
a person. It's being prejudiced
We gonna
against a,
pivot.
Well,
Right.
an individual.
and a certain type of individual. See, prejudice has nothing to do with race. Prejudice
does.
is no, it doesn't, because you could be prejudiced to
Are
women.
we
I
gonna
see what
bust
you
out
You
said.
can be
I see what you
prejudiced
said.
to
I see-
minors.
I see what
You can be
said.
prejudiced to.
I see
You
what
can be
you're saying.
prejudiced to a lot of different people. Racist is when you're being prejudiced to a
So-
race. That's really what it is. But I understand what you're saying. Racism with us is what you define to us.
Nah, that's
But
what-
racism.
All right, listen. This is what one of my followers said.
What
right?
they say on
What
that?
they say?
Cause
Said
I'm gonna do the
racism,
definition.
having the ability to
Yes,
strike
thank
for
you.
a group of people financially with power with a bigot approach.
Yes. Now, prejudice is preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. So
talking about.
the definitions.
We're going to Webster.
See that when you in the when you conscious, we gotta really be looking up the definitions. So
Rich
we
over
gotta-
there
we
looking
gotta
up the
see-
I am right now.
Look it up.
Right now.
Where you at?
Right now.
You in the Black Law Dictionary? Where
I'm
you
just
at?
saying. So
I'm
we
on
go-
Google, nigga.
we just read the definitions. But so we gonna circle back real quick.
Hold on.
But
Can
you
I
know
read
what?
it?
Yeah,
Can
we
I
can
just
read
quickly
the
read the definition of
Okay.
racism?
Okay, go ahead.
Quickly,
And I got a comment
quickly.
after that.
Quickly. Racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or a marginalized or marginalized. That's the end of it. A program to combat racism.
Right.
See, white
So-
people are not a minority.
the
I mean, not
difference-
they're not a minority, so it can't include them.
I'm
So
gonna
let-
take this real quick.
let-
I'm gonna take this.
Nah,
real
go ahead.
quick.
My bad. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna take this
Yeah,
real
do your
quick.
thing. Do your thing.
So the definition, when we're talking about racist, that means it's a prejudice or a discrimination, right? So when you are racist, you are definitely discriminating. When you are prejudiced, it's a preconceived notion that you're having. It's your own opinion. So if you look at the definition and the difference of the definitions, that says a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual expression. So that is just your thought. Your thought is prejudice, but your action is racist. That's what we're saying.
Right.
So to be racist, that means that we would have to have some sort of ability to discriminate, right? So if black people as a whole do not have a control of our society, then we don't have an ability to be racist, because I cannot put discrimination on a whole race of people. I don't have the power to do that.
But you
now,
do.
Black Ink,
You could not have-
specifically, I could say I
You-
don't want white people to come in
and that
here.
would be racist.
But that's what we're
if
saying.
you never
black
had,
people as a whole.
if Black Ink never had white people on our show
Yeah.
and said you can't be on here because you white, that's racism.
Yes. We
That's what
understand
I'm
that.
saying.
But we're saying black people as a whole don't have the ability to be racist, whereas white people as a whole do, because they hold power in this society and in this world. That's what we're saying. But I mean, we're both right, but we're talking more in a holistic, totalitarian
Oh, y'all talking about
way
whole. See, the
as
whole
far
thing
as
is-
black people,
Okay.
because when we say
Peace.
black people, we're talking as one. We're talking as our people as one, not separate, not individuals, but as one. And that's we're gonna go back to B1. That's what we're
Okay.
talking about. As
Okay.
a group, we
I get
speak
that.
as a group think. You know,
Yeah.
so you're right. We get it. What you're
The only
saying
reason
as
why
an individual,
I
but
don't
as
speak,
a whole.
only reason why I don't like to speak as a group is because all white people wasn't bad to me.
I mean,
so
and
I
I'm
can't
not saying,
speak
yeah,
as-
all white people
all white
aren't
people
bad,
are
but
bad.
the white man as a group, white people, yes.
Oh,
If
as
you
a
look
whole.
at colonization, if you look
Right,
at what
right,
white people
right.
have
I
done
get
as
that
a
part.
whole,
I get that part.
But
I get
I
that
mean,
part.
half of my family is white. My grandfather is white. My sister-in-law, like half my family is
Yeah.
white.
But I
So-
wish black people, I wish we could speak as a whole for black people, but there's no part of anything where we can speak as a whole for black people.
I mean, in a way, we try to. We
We
do.
try, but we
do,
can't.
But it's because you have a separation of our people, where you have a
Exactly.
lot of people, and that's where we're gonna get to this. Actually,
And we're not on code.
We're
That's
not
what
on
it goes
code,
back to.
exactly. And a lot
We
of
need
people
a code of conduct.
Right.
That's what I'm
right,
saying.
Right,
What I'm
right.
saying is you can speak as a whole for white people, but you cannot speak as a whole for black people because we're not on code. We don't have no type of. There's no type of law amongst us.
Yeah, it's kind of
There's
sad.
nothing
It's sad And
amongst
that's-
us,
It's sad.
and that's why I think about it the way I do, because I see it as an equal playing field as far as how we think, how they think, because we're not a whole. So I don't want to look at them as a whole because some of them are different. But at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we need to get on some whole shit
Yes.
and really be together because
And be one.
and be
One.
one. Oh, I love. Oh,
You gotta get on code
Gotta get
and
on
be
code.
one.
be one.
All right, I
And
got
be
some-
one.
I got some questions.
But you
for
know
y'all.
what?
Hold on.
That's
We gotta get
fucking
to
important and powerful, bro. Because
doubt.
we are not one. They are. Every other race is one except
'Cause
us.
yeah, exactly. But it's our time.
I'm sorry, High Heels.
I'm about to get to these questions. Now, you know what? In a way, I'm
That's
kind
good, though. He passionate
yes,
about the
I was
subject.
going to say that this
I know where you're going
This
with
is
it.
what I want to fire.
I'm
these
so sorry. I don't mean to
conversations.
vary, but it's just
I mean, no,
I
it's
get it
fine.
now. I get where y'all coming from
Yes.
at this point.
Yes. Yes.
Because we are not one, and that's the biggest problem.
And that's what we're supposed to be.
All right. So,
Yes.
my bad.
No, that's okay. You know what? It's okay. That's what I call a breakthrough. I don't mind until we get to the breakthrough moment.
Okay.
But I do want to ask you guys some questions.
Let's go.
So I think this was earlier this year. I heard a term called a foundational Black American.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, that was the first time I ever heard that term. Had no clue what it meant. What does it mean to be a foundational Black American?
Raheem can speak on
Raheem,
that.
yeah.
You know.
I'm like, what is that?
Y'all put it on me, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Chloe Anderson, right? You know, when he speaks about those that descend from slavery, right? Descendants of those that was enslaved. He called us native Black Americans, right? But when you say and describe that term, a lot of people gonna think that you was talking about the Native Indians or Native Americans, right? And then people will get confused if you put NBA, right? So foundational Black Americans simply means that those that can trace their lineage back to the 1700s, you know what I mean? In the 1800s when they did those census. And if you trace your lineage back to there, because I did mine, and you'll see, you can actually see what plantation, you know, your ancestors descend from and where they traveled. Like, they took very great care of those records. Like, there was a article that came out recently, and it said in 1860, the value and worth of having slaves was $5 billion, right? $5 billion. And that's more than the factory workers and the railroads. The cost and production that the factories produce, the cost and productions that the railroad produce, both of them combined didn't compare to the $5 million that was extracted.
Was it
from
million or
free
billion?
Billion. I meant billion.
Wow.
That was extracted from free slave labor. So to answer your question, Foundation Black Americans is those that are descendants of slaves that's here in, you know, the United States of America. And that we are FBA, right? Foundation Black Americans, but we also freedmen, right? And freedmen is a political term. Right? Because when you're going for reparations, right, you know how everybody say, oh, they're not going to do nothing for a singular race and it involves race. But when you say you're a freeman, right, which is Foundation Black Americans, they're descendants of the freemen, that's a political term. You know what I mean? Because they called them freemen because these was the ones that was actually free.
Was free,
And,
yeah.
you know, and some of them got free, some of them was already free, some of them bought their freedom. And that's that's another story that, you know, people can do research on about the Freemans, the Freeman banks, and how, you know, we accumulated millions of dollars and the whites came and overtook the bank. And Frederick Douglass, he invested $10,000 of his own money to save that bank. You know what I mean? They put him on the chairman, like, of the bank, but the bank was already failing. They already took the money out and all of that. So there's a lot of history behind the Freemans and
The Freedmen's
whole
Bureau.
meaning. Yeah, the
Well,
Freedmen's
let me
Bureau.
ask you a question, brother, real quick, right? So, I did a lot of research on Tulsa, and those times when we was, you know, we had our own money, we had our own communities, we had our own doctors,
Lawyers,
everything, lawyers,
engineers,
everything, you know,
tailors.
everything. So, around that time, right, what a lot of people don't know is that it was black people, but it was also Indians. We were living amongst each other in them times. So when they're giving Indians like their own land, like the Indian reservations, like, and they kind of trying to say that Indians were the only ones here when they came.
Nah, that's not true.
Right. It was us too.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And we were the majority.
Exactly. Exactly. This is what I want to get confirmed.
Go ahead.
So we was here. It wasn't just them, and they giving them their own land, but they not giving us our own land. My thing is is like our own area. Like, you know, Indian reservations is off everything. They don't pay taxes. They don't got to deal with a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, yeah, that's all I wanted to confirm. Really, is that we was a part of that. And my thing is, where's ours? Because, like,
I'm gonna explain that to you, right? You're 100% right? And if you look at Columbus Diaries, you know, when he came here, you know, he described dark and Negroid featured people. And then the spears that he took back with him, right? When he came over here the first time and did the trading, those spears, they was able to test it and find out that it came from Africa. And also, if you look at Abu Bakari, right? He was a African, and he was over here. And he was able to speak Arabic and several different languages, and he spoke English. So that proves already that either we was well-traveled, we had our own people here, and if you look at the explorers, and you look at their diaries, it tells, you know what I mean? You look at the, what is it called, the Aztec, in Mexico?
Oh,
they got the features, they got Negroid features. Mm-hmm. And this was all before...
Olmec?
Yeah,
the
Olmec. Mm-hmm. This was all before, you know, Columbus sailed and so-called discovered the New World.
Right.
So we definitely was here.
We've been here.
But let me say this real quick. So what happened was they gave them their land to create a certain narrative. See what I'm saying? Because we were the majority. This was really our land. So they gave their $5 Indians, because you could pay $5 to be, quote unquote, termed an Indian. They gave them land and them reservations to create a certain narrative, and that's what it's really all about.
Yep, that's where the term come from. If you pay $5, right, you get your name added on the it's called the dole pole. You know what I mean? You get your name added on there, and that's what a lot of them did. So that's why when you see the Indians that they parade in front of us today, they damn near look Anglo. You know what I mean? They white Europeans.
Yeah, those were the Asians that came across the Berlin Strait and that were here. You know what I'm saying? But really, we, you know, were the majority here. And this was our land, our constitution,
right?
Our shit.
So really, so black was first.
Yeah, right.
So how do you think that it will help our community to put black first?
Wow. Okay, I think that's a good question. Mm-hmm. The way it would help is because it would, again, put us all on one code, one agenda. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's no code. When something happens, the first thing we do is want to take to the street, march, because that's an emotional response.
Right.
Dumb.
And then after that, everything is back to normal. That's why you see that.
Right.
But if we're on code, if we're on the same page, and we have an agenda, there's a code of agenda that we're on, then we know exactly how to respond when, you know, one of ours is taken out. Mm-hmm. Like the brother that just got shot, 60 times?
Yeah.
Jay,
you know what I'm saying? So then we would all group together, and then we would all be on one code, and then we would respond as a unit. Mm-hmm. And that's what white people fear. They fear the unity of black people.
Of course.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why they've done everything to keep that disbursement, to keep us fragmented. But I feel like, you know, with where we are now as a society and where America is now, it's going to take the black mom, it's going to take black people to put us back on code and to clean up this mess that has been created.
Yes, the black mom. Hello.
Exactly.
That's me. Just saying.
Big mama.
You know,
coming through.
Big mama, but the mama.
I totally agree with you, and I also feel like we just need a lot of unity.
Yeah.
I think the problem with us is we need unity and we need an objective. Mm-hmm. The thing is all of that protesting for nothing, it makes no sense.
That's just wearing out your sneakers.
When something happens, my thing is when something happens and you want to go protest just to protest, when there's not one of us that has spoken to everybody and say, look, this is how we going to protest, this is what we asking for, and this is what's going on. You protesting, but ain't nobody sitting up here speaking and saying, look, this is what we want. There's no Malcolm X. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no.
Sorry, but really it's no Thurgood Marshall. Because the difference between what we see now and what we saw in the civil rights movement was that as Martin Luther King was beating the streets, we had Thurgood Marshall in the courts.
Right.
So that's how we had Brown versus Board of Education, where they did decide that separate was not equal, where they did decide that Jim Crow wasn't legal, because but now we don't have that same
Now you know who
But
we
the
have.
thing- the thing
we have.
is-
We
You know
have.
what I'm saying?
We have Al Sharpton in the streets.
Don't
And Clarence Thomas
Clarence
as
Thomas.
the
But the
chief
thing is-
in the Supreme
No,
Court.
but the thing is, no,
we
no,
messed
look.
up.
Clarence
But
Thomas
listen,
is not
listen,
part
listen.
of our mission, just
No,
so
but
it's
listen.
understood.
Oh yeah,
No,
absolutely.
real talk though.
It's messed up. We got Al Sharpton in the streets
Real talk
Clarence
though.
Thomas.
and Clarence Thomas.
Yeah,
in the
we
Supreme Court.
fucked up in those areas. But real talk though, we don't need none of that. If when we are protesting and we are stopping something, we have an objective. The thing is we don't even need to protest. Like they keep telling us, they say this over and over. If black people held the black dollar back for one day, it would hit what's 42nd Street? What's it would hit the
Times
stock,
Square.
the stock
the
market.
Wall Street.
It would hit Wall Street so bad that they will feel it if we didn't spend money for one day.
Absolutely.
But we do not unify enough to even do something like that. If we did it for a week, we would cripple the world.
Right.
But the problem is there's no unification. There's no. The thing is when one person is up top and saying, "Look, this is what we do," everybody got a problem with that person. Oh, you did this, you that, you Malcolm X, he was this, he was that.
Yes.
Farrakhan, oh, you this, you that. Everybody got a problem with somebody of authority that's black because we don't trust each other.
Right.
We don't love each other enough to trust that this is the person because everybody want to be the person.
Yeah.
Can I add on to that real quick?
Yes, you can.
This just happened recently, right? They had in the New York Times and the New York Post, they had a picture of Eric Garner's family, right? And they was happy, smiling, and they was in glee over the naming of the street where he died.
They threw him a bone.
Eric Garner's
That wasn't even a bone.
Boulevard away. Now understand this, black people, right? That shit right there is called benign neglect. They make you think they're doing something for you
Right.
when actually they not. You know, that family fought for justice, and which they rightfully should have did. But when you come and you let them name a street after you, after the cop didn't go to jail,
Nothing.
hasn't been
Right,
charged.
Nothing.
I don't
So you know what this does? You know what this does? That same cop can patrol the streets that he previously
And
killed
murder-
someone
come
on that's named
Talk
after
about
them
it.
and murder somebody else. And there's nothing we
On
can
that
do.
same street.
On that same street. Like, we as
Bro.
black people, man, we have to
Bro.
produce justice for ourselves.
Yes.
Like,
Bro.
he should not be able to patrol that neighborhood.
You
You know
shouldn't
what
be
I mean?
patrolling no neighborhood.
But
Man,
listen,
I don't want a street.
Bro,
It's
that
to the
is
point-
still that is still 225th Street,
yeah, and it's to the
but
point.
Eric Garner way.
Yo, it's to
That's
the point
dumb.
where, yo, you just kill somebody from our community, and you feel safe enough to go back to work and patrol those
And we ain't do
streets?
shit.
You shouldn't feel safe. You shouldn't feel
You
safe.
shouldn't feel safe in the
comfortable.
United States.
that's-
But you
and
know
that's-
what?
that's
That
the
still goes
problem.
back to us.
Yeah,
That
but
still
we
goes
don't-
back to us not being brave enough.
But nah, all that's about to change though.
It's
It's
changing.
pull up summer.
It's
pull up
changing.
summer.
That's us not being brave enough, and that's us really not having no unity.
Yeah, but you know what though? I have to say something
Talk
because
about
and I want to ask y'all's opinion. You know, when we talk about Black First, one of the things that I notice the most about just our industry, when I look at hip hop, I always call it misappropriated white people. I see a lot of misappropriated white people in our culture, right? When you talk about not having unity, look at all of the white people that are part of our media, part of our music, part of our culture, especially just in Atlanta. And all they do is really perpetuate the negativity of our culture. I don't see any John Browns. I don't see any person who is a white person infiltrating our culture doing anything better for us. And I think that most of us need to put our foot down with that. Whenever I see let me not.
That's
even
why
go
we
there.
got to get on
we
call.
Whenever I
can't.
see,
We can't.
no, you need to.
No,
It be
no,
people
no,
that
no,
it be
no.
people that be right
Listen
here
to
in
what you
Atlanta.
saying.
It be people that be right here in Atlanta. Y'all be letting these kids walk around. It be one white girl with a whole bunch of black girls, black strippers, and y'all just be letting her sit over here and pimp our women. Why? If y'all want
You know why? You know why? Because we doing the same thing.
Yeah, but
and the only way for that white girl to infiltrate our shit is to act like us.
Thank you.
And the problem is we pimping our people.
Right.
We pimping our people.
Right.
And how the hell she gonna get in talking some righteous shit? We gonna look at her like, oh, you an Uncle Tom bitch.
But see,
that's how we gonna do her. Because the problem is if I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but if I start talking some good shit about our community, they're not gonna like my music. Mm-hmm. Now, the only people that make it in our community with music is the ones that's pimping our people. And for her to make it, the white girl, she got to pimp our people.
Right.
And you know what? That shit cute to us.
So why?
Look at the white girl.
So look, but see,
that's
why?
horrible.
But we have to stop pimping our own. About. Yeah, you should. But you should too. But I think that we need to stop. We need to stop pimping our own people. No, I don't start with an I. Oh. But we need to stop pimping our own people. Like I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of people complain about it. But I'm like, okay, so you complaining about us not having no unity. You complain that black people don't do nothing, but you don't do nothing. You still play the same music that's talking about don't give a about a. How you gonna have a song that you don't care about your men? Like we got beautiful black men. The fact that you don't care about your men means that you have allowed them to be broken in front of us. You now allowed yourself to be brainwashed to the point that now you actually walk around here defaming your own body and your own men.
Talk
like
that talk.
It's a mind fuck. To be real with you. And I think that it takes us to stand up. Like y'all want to sit here and talk about RIP to Trouble and every other person that gets killed, but y'all was the first people promoting it. Like it takes us to really put our foot down. You know, that's like people make fun of us. Oh, they conscious and this and that. You can make fun of me all day. You know what I'm saying? But please believe I'm the person that's a writer for us. Like we writing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be that person to have discipline, that person to have education. If you've now noticed from the past, 30 minutes we've been on, 40 minutes we've been on, people are educated. We looking up definitions.
That's
we ain't just
fact.
talking to y'all. We really is coming to y'all with facts. So I'm asking for the rest of us to get on board. If we want to really, if we want them to be afraid to kill us, they need to know that it's a lot of intelligent black people that's going to come and ride on us if we strangle this boy or we strangle this man on the street.
That's
you know
on code. That's the code.
That's the code right there, the black code.
It's
B1.
the code. But the code comes with a lot more than just shucking and jiving. The code comes with having discipline. It comes with having education. It comes with taking care of your health. It comes with really being honest to white people. Like, I'm going to be honest to a white person all day. Yes, I put my people first.
You know who you got to be honest to first, though?
Yourself.
Our people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I hear you checking the white people on what they doing, but who's checking us?
Oh, I check.
Well, that's why we gotta be. That's why we gotta be accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem,
for our actions.
No, I'm not. High heels. I'm not saying that you do anything wrong, but when I hear you talk about the white girl, my thing is she following us.
Yeah.
It needs to be us that needs to be checked first, because the problem is we doing that shit. And they following us to get in what we got going on. If we don't check us first and say, look, we got to stop talking about our people that way, then obviously everybody else going to do it. Because if you do, my thing is, if I watch you curse your nigga out and belittle that nigga, if I'm in your house and I fuck with you, you know what I'm going to say? My nigga, could you go get me a motherfucking drink? Because I watched you send a nigga to the fridge, so I need him to go to the fridge too.
Yeah.
Cause I'm in y'all house and he obviously the bitch. So can you go to the fridge, my nigga? you got to check. We got to check who's wrong first. They only doing what they see. They doing what they see us do to each other, and that's why they feel like they could do it. And they acting like how we act. That's all they mimicking us, and that's why they winning like that. So I really just feel like what needs to be checked first is us. We need to be one. We need to come together, and we need to unify, and we need to also have an objective. It has to be a uniform or unified objective that we all agree on, and then we can go for that, because it's no point in protesting, doing anything because the thing is, when you got their ear, what now? All right, what you want, black people? And we all looking around like, well, nigga, I want some Jordans. Shit.
Nah, but you know what,
shit, I want an extra day. I want an extra day off from school. Wow. Dumb shit.
You know what?
You feel what I'm saying?
What you're saying is absolutely true, but on the flip side of that, there's a whole movement brewing right now, right?
Okay.
That is going to D.C. October 15th.
Talk about it.
Right?
That's what I need to hear.
And we demanding reparations, and we putting forth the black agenda, and we getting everybody on code. It's dealing with the FBA. You know, it's dealing with the government and the state sanctions execution. It's in the premature stages. You know, the permits and everybody is getting done.
That's good.
But there hasn't been a movement like this in a long time. You know, and this is like where we draw the line in the sand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like who's on code with us, you know, what individuals that we're gonna get behind and put our money behind and put in office, because you know we gotta control policies. We
and
gotta
voters
control
a block
resources in our community and become a voters block. So this is happening. You know what I mean? Like what you're saying is 100% correct.
Right.
A lot of people gotta get on code. We haven't been.
And I'm glad you're telling me it's happening.
But you know, we at a pivotal moment in our time right now.
And it only take 10%.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be everybody.
But
everybody ain't gonna get on code.
But bro, but that's the shit that fucked my head up. You understand? You know what bothers me a little bit?
What's that?
My thing is anybody could start a political party.
Yeah.
Why is there not a black political goddamn party?
Well, it's
I'm
coming.
sure it's coming.
It's coming.
I'm sure it's coming.
Negroes fan up now.
But if
with these high gas prices,
if we all had a place to vote, where it was for us, bro, the vote would be there. We the majority.
Yeah, we gonna get
we
there.
the majority.
And you know what? It's as simple as this, right? You got to start, and we know that all politics are local, right? You start with on your school board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If our 3 children went to the same school, all we got to do is get 2 more parents. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And then we take it and we go amongst the parents,
Snowball.
and then we vote each other in. We take over the school board, right?
Right.
And once you take over the school board, then you what is it called?
District.
Not the principal, that controls the superintendent.
Superintendent,
You know,
the district.
Then
yeah.
you get the superintendent in, right? We elect who the superintendent is going to be. The superintendent hires the principals in that district. Now we controlling the education. You know, then we get the council members that's in the community,
right?
That's going to allot the money for these schools, that determine what the taxes and the value is going to be for the house. Then we got them in, and then we start going to the state senate. You know, electing congressmen. Then we get to the federal level. So there's process and step to this, and we can do it.
You know what's sad? You know what's sad, bro? Like, I understood that concept since I was a kid. And that, what you just said is exactly what it is. All those people are in place to represent the community that they in. They all get voted into office because it's supposed to be the community that votes who they want to represent them. The sad part is what you're saying sounds so profound right now. It sounds great. What you're saying sounds like, wow, we can do that. We could have bended that.
And you know what? Some of those positions be getting less than 200 votes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because nobody is doing what you're talking about, but that's how it works.
But
the people in the Senate, the people in the House of Representatives, it's all representatives of us.
Yes.
And the moral of the story is this, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Poor people vote, rich people lobby. You know what I mean? And we
real.
have to do both of that.
Yeah.
We have to vote and lobby.
But now the problem is a lot of people don't know what lobby is. So slightly give them, I know what it is.
Right.
Slightly give them a definition of what lobbying is, because we got some of our people that got enough money to lobby.
All right.
And they don't know what lobbying is.
I'm going to give you an example. There's several examples of lobbying and these PACs. When you see the NRA, the National Rifle Association, and they want laws and amendments to certain rules and regulations, they give money to the Democrats so that they can lobby these bills and pass the laws that are favorable to them. That's lobbying. You know, when you seen here in Atlanta, the cab drivers was complaining that Uber was taking all the money. You know what I mean? So what Uber did? Uber put that bag up, and now they able. You used to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to be able to go to the airport and pick up passengers. Uber put that bag up and went to the city council and got all that changed. Now you're an Uber driver, you can go pick them up.
No, they got a spot. They got a spot
got their
at the
own
airport.
spot.
Right, yeah. You gotta walk all the parts.
Yeah,
They got their own fucking area.
That's what lobbying is. But you know what I mean? And we have to become a voters block. We have to put our money together and lobby these politicians. We can't have these handkerchief head Negroes that's in office that is trying to undermine Black America. You know, you got Fonnie, what's her name? Fonnie Willis. Fonnie Willis. Her main target is after gangs. You know, and you know, gangs, yeah, we need to eradicate that, but that's your main focus?
Right.
Like, it's not even that serious. You don't, as soon as she got in the office, the police that killed Rashad Brooks, she threw that out. The two officers that got fired and arrested for beating up them little college students at Clark University, she threw that out.
What?
And there's so many cases of police brutality that's on her desk that she's not moving forward with. But this is a Black lady that, unfortunately, people exercise the vote, because I voted for Paul Howard, and they put this lady in. You know, but she's a one-trick pony. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she's a one-term DA.
Right. She's a filler.
Yeah, she's out of there. Ain't nobody rocking with her, because we see who she is.
That's
the power of the vote, y'all.
Yeah. Power of the vote.
What's the next question? Let's move along.
I want to talk.
Let's show you love on that. Because we need information. The thing that we're missing in our community is information. They like, for some reason, our community think information is hidden from them, even though it's in plain sight. Yeah. But that's why sometimes we got to speak the information. That's why I wanted you to explain that. And I appreciate you explaining to our people what can be done and what they need.
Yeah. But it's also the application, too, though. The application once you get the information.
Shout out.
You got to move forward.
I just wanted to say I had some comments. Shout out Empress Enia Official. She said, Raheem Shabazz, blessed love, brother.
Thank you.
A lot of people are saying just blessings. Thank you for the information. Peace to the guys. So I just wanted to catch up on some of those comments, because people is enjoying getting that information. Did you get the email that I sent you?
I'm ready for you whenever you are.
So I want us to talk about the film.
Okay.
Because this is dope. We have the trailer for the film, so I want to play the trailer, and then we'll get into talking about that. Just get a brief understanding of what the film is about, inspiration of the film, and all of that. Let me see.
Want to film now?
Yes, sir.
You got to introduce things. You can't just say
bad. I did. I thought I just
What's
said
the
that.
name of the film?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead, Rick.
Matter of fact, introduce the film, brother.
Exactly. So this is B1. So B1 is basically a film again about being on code, you know, and putting black first. So it features, you know, I partner with Dr. Boyce Watkins. Features everybody from Queen Afua to Dr. Claude Anderson, Raheem Shabazz, who's also
shout out to the brother.
Yeah, who's also behind the scene making everything come together too.
Filmmaker.
And you know, so it has who else? Nuri Muhammad, Reza Islam. Who else on there?
Blue Pill.
Blue Pill.
Yeah. What's her name? Joyce. No. What's her name? With the
So this is like
the hair.
With the hair. So this is like the all-star cast of black people.
Jade.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jade is on there. This is like the all-star cast of black people who've been for black people, who've been for the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
and Dr. Like
Queen Afua is on it.
Yeah, I said Dr. Claude Anderson. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, so we got all them in there, and that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? B1, black first, baby.
Black first. All right, let's check out the trailer.
There's an exciting movement happening amongst Black America.
We're just trying to put each other first.
I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins of the Black Business School. I've teamed up with award-winning filmmaker Rick Mathis to poll over 1 million people with this intriguing question. What is it going to take for black people to start putting black people first?
No Arab, no Jew, no white man has ever had to be asked such a question.
The whole world needs black power. As long as Black Power is suffering, then everybody's going to be suffering.
Nobody complains when an Indian man says he loves that Indian woman. Nobody complains when a Jewish man says, I want to do business with my Jewish brethren. Nobody says a damn thing when a Chinese man says, I only want to patronize Chinese businesses.
It's time to stop talking and implement a real plan. B1 the movie has real solutions.
I just got to say a little something. So I had the pleasure of just seeing a little clip, and oh my God, I was like, oh, I was going crazy. So what inspired you to create this film?
Wow. Well, I mean, I got a call from Boyce. Shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Shout out Dr. Boyce Watkins.
You know, he's been you know, plugging the B1 movement for a minute. So the B1 movement was started by Jason Black. You know, he started talking about it and talking it up. And then, you know, he talked about being on code and all of that. So Boyce, you know, was inspired by that and started talking about it on the platform. And so he was like, well, you know, Rick, I want to do this documentary, you know, for B1. And because I feel like it's time for us to start putting each other first. And I want to put an all-star cast of people together that's been talking about it, you know, that's been in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? So when you see this film, it's people that's been in the trenches and that's been putting in the work that we actually cast for the film. So, you know, that's how it all came about, the B1 movie, B1, the documentary.
And you know, another thing, a lot of people, they say, you know, it's a new terminology for them, B1, but if you go back to the days of Marcus Garvey in like the 1920s, they was called racemen, you know what I mean? People that put their race first. So if you was an individual that speaked out against racism, white supremacy, and bigotry, they'll call you a race man. You know what I mean? Like my great-great-grandfather, he was a race man. You know, my great-grandfather Adonis, he was a race man. Anybody that was a frontline warrior that spoke out, you know, whether verbally or physically, against racism and white supremacy, they was considered race men. They put their race first.
Right.
Wow.
So it's the remix of it in 2022 is B1, Black First.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's in your genes. It's in your blood.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, man.
Yeah, it's in the DNA. It's in my molecular structure.
Probably, that's why you are unapologetically
Unapologetic.
black.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's in the blood. It's in the DNA.
Yeah, shout out to Necessary Blackness podcast. By the
yeah.
way. You know,
Absolutely.
always another source to be unapologetically black. Get you some of that source. But go ahead.
So that's how it came about, and you know, we shot a lot of the cast members at the All Black National Convention. It was in Orlando, and then we'll be releasing the film this year at the All Black National Convention, which will be in Charlotte in October.
Okay. Oh, in October. October when? Because I want to go tap in.
Last weekend in October, go to the All Black National Convention.
Okay.
AllBlackNationalConvention.com. You'll see
Okay.
it.
So
that whole weekend.
Definitely something to tap into, people.
The last weekend in October, Halloween weekend.
Yes. So instead of, you know, walking around dressed as a sexy kitty cat, you might want to go tap into the All Black National.
Dress up as a king and come to the All Black National.
Not the kitty cat.
You know, everybody gonna be a sexy kitty cat. That's everybody's a sexy cat. You know what I'm
dress
saying?
up as a king or a queen and come to the All Black National Convention.
You dig what I'm saying?
Not the kitty cat.
So, how can people view this after the premiere? How will they be able to tap into?
Yeah, there'll be several platforms that you'll be able to watch it on. Of course, we'll have DVDs as well for those people who are still on that. But you know, 80% of it will be streaming, so it'll be a digital film that you'll be able to watch online.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So before I let you guys go, I want to ask y'all. I think I already asked you, but I don't know if I asked you.
What's that?
Actually, this is even a better question. Do you put black first?
Oh, absolutely.
What?
You know, several years ago, right? I did a comprehensive study or analysis, like where I spend my money. You know, my tailor's black. My landlord is black. I shop with a lot of black businesses, so 85% of my money goes to black people. You know, naturally, you know, I got to pay my T-Mobile bill, but when I do pay it, I pay it in the West End. I hand my money to a black sales clerk. You know, even my my auto insurance. You know, I got 4 cars on auto insurance and Allstate. I got an agent, you know, that works with me and gets me the best policy. She's black. So even if you have to deal outside the community, you know, make sure it's a black person. You know what I mean? Because you not providing a job for them, but you probably helping them to keep that job that they have. And I think when we do that, you know what I mean, that's putting black first.
Right.
You know, when we go out and we represent ourselves, that's putting black first. And another thing that's putting black first,
and that's being on code.
And being on code. Another thing, and I want to say this, and this is the last thing. Another thing that's putting black first is whenever you see someone in the street and they are a melanated being and they being harassed or accustomed by someone of the dominant society, no matter who it is, it can be the police officer. It is your job and your duty to intervene.
Thank you.
You know, especially when it's a black woman.
Yes.
Because we have to, and I'm gonna say this, and I know people probably not gonna understand it, right? We have to spend the last dime in our treasury and use the last bullet in our arsenal to protect the black woman.
Thank
if
you.
you see a black woman assaulted,
thank you.
Like, not to help her, anything less than helping her is uncivilized.
Yes.
And we need to get on code. You know what I mean? Like, if other races of people know, yo, it's a cardinal sin, and you may not go home tonight to your mother, to your wife, or your children, if you put your hand on a black woman, like, if we set that precedent, the world will know about it. All you gotta do is make a couple of samples.
My nigga, I don't let black niggas put their hands on black women.
Yeah.
A nigga almost didn't leave here, coming in here trying to put his hands on a black woman because he was mad she was getting tattooed. And he like, yeah, he talking shit, I fucked you. I love it, them nigga, we don't give a fuck, get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
I won't let a black man do it, let alone a white man.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah,
me.
anybody.
Yeah, right.
And I, you know,
Trust
I
me.
emphasize, you know, because I'm pro-black, so I always
understand.
emphasize and bang on the beast. But that goes for the brothers too.
That goes for y'all
You know what I
niggas,
mean?
for everybody.
You can't put your hand on a black woman. But you know, once we start setting them precedents, and I think it's gonna come, man, because yo, we dealing with this next generation. You know, I know a lot of them be on some game goofy shit, but yo, they fearless, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they will do shit.
Yeah, if we redirect that energy.
They do shit where I be like, yo, you's a wild boy.
Yes.
I would not do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we gotta direct and harness
put that
energy.
shit, put that
you know
energy in the
what I
right
mean?
direction.
Yeah, you know, because
Yes.
it's misdirected energy and they banging on each other and they circling the block and all of that. Yo, listen, man. We gonna train.
We gotta redirect that energy.
We gonna train
We
them,
working
yo.
right now.
We
We
gonna
working
train them.
right
We gonna get
now.
them right.
We over here at Black Ink. We working. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? We working. We
Facts,
doing
very
the
much
good
so
work. We
facts.
doing the good work. All right, y'all. Anything else before I go? I want to wrap this up, but I really thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Always enjoy the conversation about the history. Definitely the unity is important, as y'all see. You know, we on a mission right here. We on a mission.
Exactly.
We on a mission. We
B1 mission, baby.
B1
Black
mission.
first.
Next
On
thing
code.
that is coming is that we will have our own political party.
Yes.
We will be
You
able
better.
to have our own say in government.
Right.
And we will have our own government. We don't
Exactly.
actually need to be here.
We don't.
Understand? So once we continuously stay on code, you know, once we continuously buy land, once we continuously
land.
educate ourselves and continuously stop eating God's chicken and be
That's right.
healthy. And be healthy.
That's right.
Only thing I do want to say is I love everything the brother said. My thing is you know, we gotta get our own phone companies. We gotta get. I don't mind supporting somebody that's black. They got a job wherever they at, but I still feel like you supporting somebody else when you support that. They getting their salary, but they got to learn to create their own. Create your own phone company. Create your own insurance.
Yes.
Create your own everything. You know, I don't want to come to a store that you paying rent to somebody. Get your own, like you
That's
said,
right.
buy the land.
Yeah, and well,
get your own building.
One thing
I
to
don't
do-
like create our own communities. All that paying into something that's paying into somebody else. I know it's not gonna happen overnight, but create the narrative to be creating our own, to where we own everything, to where that dollar don't go to nobody but us.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say, if I have a lot of that instilled in me because my father is not from this country, so growing up, I was only with other Ghanaians. Only, period. But what my dad did was he used to be a taxi cab driver on the weekends. So he was a CPA, so he was an auditor for MARTA. Weekends drove a taxi cab company. And he realized that we could create an insurance company. So it was him and another Ghanaian man and then another Nigerian. They owned the taxi cab insurance company. Period. So most of the taxi cabs in Atlanta were insured by my father or his two business partners. Period. But then, you know, white people, as soon as they see that, they start to create legislations and crap like that to come into place.
And that's racism.
And it was racism. And so that's, So once they seen these African men making all this money, being the only insurance company for all these cabs, then they came and did some legislative stuff. So now he just transitioned to actually owning the cab. So if you ever see a cab with a check on the side, that's my daddy's. But But so
and I told you the story about Nick Cannon, right?
What about Nick Cannon? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So as soon
that's
as
what they do to us.
Right, they do that every time. So that's why it is important for us to own our own, but we still need to keep in mind our unification and our isolation. It's not trying to be racist. It's not trying to push anyone out. It's just so that we can preserve whatever we built. Because as long as we're in this country and it's run by and it's dominated by white society, they will have the power to take things away that we create, and we don't want that.
Talk that talk.
Bam.
You know it.
Hey, yo, can I say one more thing in closing? Now listen, right, family. I want y'all to really pay attention and understand this, right? And I said it on my podcast the other day, and a lot of people were like, well, what do you mean, Raheem? So this is what I mean, right? When you look at white people, right, everything they think, do, and say is to push forth the agenda of racism and white supremacy. As a black man, as someone that's B1, right, everything I do, think, say, is to empower black people. And remember, there are only two type of black people. There are those that want to go back to the plantation and pick cotton, and then there are those that are like me and my man Rick, that we see a need for a revolt in the slave headquarters. Period. And we're going to bring about that revolution, man.
That's what time it is.
That's the time. All right.
Rick, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say follow us at B1 The Movie on IG. And follow us at, follow me at Rick Mathis without the K, R-I-C, Mathis on Instagram, all platforms.
Period. And shout out to Rich Mo, man. I love what you're doing, man. And High Heels, you know, I can't say it enough, man. I appreciate you, man, because I know that this has been a dream come true. I know you've been doing the podcast thing, and you was like, yo, once I get to the right spot, it's going to happen, and I'm seeing it in real time. Like, we had conversations about this. You know what I mean? So that's why when you be like, yo, Rod, can you come up? Absolutely. Period. You know what I mean? Because I was there when you was laying down the blueprint. You know what I mean? And then, you know, to see you come as far as you can. You get me to cry?
I'm such a crybaby.
You better not start that up in here, man. All right, it's time to go.
Tears of joy, man. Tears of joy.
Because it's just because, like, you know.
Put you on camera crying.
I'm not crying. Don't do me now.
You about to tear up.
It was just a little.
She's
on
a
the
cancer.
side.
You have to understand.
I'm a cancer.
She's a big. They're very emotional.
We are emotional, and the mood was powerful just now.
Go ahead and cry, girl.
I'm not about to cry. I'm about to toughen up. Anyway, but yes, it has been a labor of love, and this has been my vision, and I appreciate the community because really they've been coming out, like they've been coming out. Everybody,
they've been supporting you.
Yo, you had some heavy hitters up there.
Heavy. I'm like, and just and
your lineup. I've been doing my podcast for about 2-3 years, and your lineup surpassed my. And the funny thing is, I know everybody, but you know. You somehow you was able to get them.
It's God, man. It's really been a blessing. It's been a blessing. It's alignment. This was a calling. It's a ministry.
Yeah, when the stars line up, it's gonna happen.
Yes, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, man, that time where that conscious chick came to Black Ink and Rich Mo was conscious. I've been getting a lot of comments about that. Like people like, yo, Rich Mo is snapping. Like I ain't never even heard him talk like that. So I'm like,
when in Rome.
It's duality though. It's duality. Yeah. All right, y'all. So I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Next week I will have Rob Gentry on, the owner of Everyday Hemp Company. So we gonna talk that talk. I think he was supposed to come last week, but we decided to do a little pivot. We're gonna talk the legal cannabis business, as I like to also make sure that we are informed of different ways that we can shift the narrative from the past of our people being locked up for this cannabis. Now we can have our stake in this legally. Okay. So yeah. See you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, Oracle Connect. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Rick Mathis. Thank you, Raheem Shabazz, for always showing up. And I will see y'all next week.
You are now tuned in to Black Ink Radio.